There are a few verifiable secrets that may never be tackled, from the date that Jesus was brought into the world to the character of Jack the Ripper to the area of Cleopatra's burial chamber. Now and then, that is on the grounds that the important uncovered material has been lost or an archaeological site has been obliterated. Different times, this is on the grounds that new proof is probably not going to approach or the enduring proof is too unclear to even consider driving researchers to an agreement. Before we move on to the next step, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Number 10. The Zodiac Killer. The vast majority are generally quiet regarding their violations, yet Zodiac, as he named himself, was everything except. From 1968 to 1969, he threatened San Francisco with his homicide binge, insulting the police with his coded letters to the neighborhood paper. He had something like 5 killings straightforwardly associated with him, despite the fact that he professes to have killed 37 individuals. His dread started when Betty Lou Jensen, 16, and David Arthur Faraday, 17, were tracked down lying outside of their projectile-peppered vehicle. Jensen was observed dead at the scene with 5 gunfire wounds to her back, while Faraday passed on from a shot to the head in transit to the emergency clinic. A large portion of a year after the fact, a couple who left their vehicle 4 miles from that crime location was additionally gunned down, 1 harmed and 1 killed. The survivor, Michael Mageau, had the option to give a portrayal of the executioner. He portrayed a chunky white man around 5 feet 8 inches. It would be simply the Zodiac Killer that would give the police the leftover proof. Number 9. The Tamanshud Case. The Zodiac Killer wasn't the one in particular who wanted to utilize codes. On the morning of December 1, 1948, a body was found on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The man's body was in amazing condition, without any wounds to be found. He was fashionable, albeit every one of the names on his garments were absent. In his pocket was a train pass to Henley Beach, never to be utilized. It would be a month some other time when they would observe a bag connected to him at Adelaide Railroad Station. Its mark was eliminated as well as those on the pieces of clothing inside it. Sadly, it prompted no hints, very much like his examination, which announced no unfamiliar substance in his body that could straightforwardly interface his demise to poisoning. After a month they would track down the most significant however confounding proof in a mystery pocket in the man's pants. It read, Tamanshud. Public library authorities brought in to decipher the expression. They reasoned that it signified finished or got done, which can be found in an assortment of sonnets entitled The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Promptly police ran a cross-country look for the book where this piece paper was torn from. A man approached, asserting that he observed the book in the secondary lounge of his opened vehicle up to 14 days before they found the body. On its rear was an unusual code scribbled out in pencil. A telephone number connecting to an attendant was additionally found, however the medical caretaker said she had given a duplicate of the Rubaiyat to a military official named Alfred Boxall. Both the one who observed the book and the medical attendant denied any association with the dead man. They never got any further with the case, albeit many speculated it might have been a self-destruction since the book's subject was tied in with regretting absolutely nothing when life closes. Others figure he might be a government agent. What's more, until there are any breaks for the situation, his grave will remain perusing. Here lies the obscure man who was found at Somerton Beach 1 December 1948. Number 8. The Terra Calico Case. On the morning of September 20, 1988 in Belen, New Mexico, it appeared to be an ideal day to ride a bicycle. Terra Calico acquired her mom's pink bicycle to go out for a twist. Outgoing and dynamic, she filled in as a bank employee and was contemplating to turn out to be either an analyst or therapist. She intended to play tennis that evening and requested that her mother drive out after her in the event that she got a punctured tire and didn't get back by early afternoon. She never returned. Each lead went to an impasse until a year after the fact, when a photograph was tracked down portraying a young lady her age and a missing kid, both choked. Number 7. The Severed Feet Mystery. 2007, a young lady was wandering in Oceanside in British Columbia when she viewed as a tennis shoe. Sadly, as she opened up the sock, she observed that a human foot was inside. From that point forward, various cut-off feet have washed shorewards. The feet have been associated with 5 men, 1 a lady, and 3 of obscure sex. Over time, with a scam foot tossed to a great extent, the case has never been totally shut, with numerous hypotheses drifting around concerning who the feet had a place with. The Vancouver police figured out how to distinguish one foot in 2008, matching its DNA to a portrayed man as self-destructive. They later had the option to match 2 different feet to a likewise trusted lady to have ended it all. In view of these discoveries, many theorize that the feet have a place with the individuals who leaped off a scaffold to their demises. In any case, as a result of the uncommonness of just feet and no other body parts appearing, some accept that the feet were associated with a plane accident by a close-by island. Others propose they were those of the casualties of the Asian tsunami in 2004, since the make of the shoes were totally made before 2004. Anything sources these feet are coming from, they have left the world puzzled for quite a long time. Number 6. The dead women who named her killer. Albeit this case has been tackled, how it was addressed remaining parts a secret. In 1977, a respiratory specialist in Chicago was killed in her loft. Teresita Bassa was found under a blazing bedding, a butcher blade covered in her chest. Police endeavored to follow her taken gems with no karma. They additionally fizzled in attempting to connect any of the suspects to the wrongdoing. It appeared to be difficult to track down the culprit, that is to say, until Remy Chua, a colleague who scarcely knew the person in question, automatically turned into a main wellspring of data. Chua started having regular dreams and bad dreams about Bassa. It began in the storage space of her work, where she encountered seeing a man's face behind Bassa. This would rehash in her fantasies. Chua then, at that point, started diverting Bassa's soul while chatting with her better half. While directing Bassa's shirt, Chua recounted to her better half the whole story of Bassa's homicide. She guaranteed and organized at the clinic named Alan Showery was assisting Bassa with her TV when he attacked her. He then, at that point, killed her and set her sleeping pad ablaze. The soul was even ready to give the subtleties of what befell her adornments, which was given to Showery's customary regulation spouse. Mr. Chua persuaded his better half to give these subtleties to the police. Number 5. The Boy in the Box. It was the year 1957 in Philadelphia when a tracker observed the swollen body of a kid in a J.C. Penney box. The kid, around 4 to 6 years of age, was bare and enclosed by wool. He appeared to have kicked the bucket from hits to the head. Dreading his muskrat traps would be seized by police, the tracker didn't report the body. It was 2 days some other time when an understudy observed the body, that the police began the instance of America's Unknown Child. It promptly stood out for the media, and flyers of the kid were seen all through Pennsylvania. A clinical inspector, who sought after the case until his demise, had a mystic lead him to the Cultivate home, where he found a bassinet like the one that was sold in the container. Holding tight the clothesline were covers similar as the one folded over the kid. He accepted the kid had a place with the stepdaughter of the one who ran the home, and she would have rather not be found as an unwed mother. Police talked with the couple, yet shut the examination. Number 4. The G&T De Palma case. Normally individuals associate witches to Salem, Massachusetts, however for this specific case, the witches were in Springfield, New Jersey. Everything began in 1972 when a canine brought back a decayed lower arm home. This incited a police search and a body was before long found a short time later on a precipice in Springfield. The body was distinguished to be that of Jeanette De Palmer, a 16-year-old who had disappeared for quite a long time. Right away, bits of gossip started spreading regarding the reason for her passing. The slope where she was found was covered with mysterious images and many accepted her body was put on an improvised special raised area. Numerous local people, even some police individuals, fault a coven of witches, also called Satanists, who involved De Palma for a human penance. Number 3. The GLICO-MORINAGA case. Okay, prepare yourselves, since this case is just about as wound as a TV wrongdoing show. It manages the Japanese organizations Izaki GLICO, most popular for its Pocky Bites, and Morinaga. In 1984, Two equipped men in covers broke into CEO Katsuhisa Izaki's mom's home and bound her, taking the house key of GLICO's CEO. Going into his home, they additionally tied up his better half and little girl. Mrs. Izaki endeavored to arrange cash with the men, however they were after something different. Removing the phone ropes, they assaulted the washroom, where Izaki and his other two kids were stowing away. They kidnapped Izaki and held him prisoner at a stockroom. They gave a payment for 1 billion yen and 100 kilograms of gold bars. Their arrangements were found when Izaki figured out how to get away from 3 days after the fact. Number 2. The SS Arang Medan. Phantom boats aren't simply depicted in legends and films like the Pirates of the Caribbean. In this evidence story, the whole team strangely died. Everything began in 1947, while ships venturing to every part of the waterways of Malacca, situated among Sumatra and Malaysia, heard an alarming misery call. An American boat called Silver Star addressed the trouble call and tracked down the Arang Medan. However, there were no indications of the team on the deck, in any event, when they attempted to call to them. Thus they boarded the boat, just to wind up in a ghastliness scene. Dispersed across the deck were the bodies of the Dutchmen, their appearances understood in such a way one would think they had seen something awful before their destruction. Indeed, even the K9 was dead, its face additionally bended in desolation. Number 1. The Cape Intruder. This last inexplicable case is definitely not a popular case, yet a nearby one that I recall from years prior, happening in an adjoining town. Notwithstanding a short notice of it in an old clasp file in regards to a local watch, I could have thought it was only my creative mind. Back in 2005, in the prosperous town of Cape Elizabeth, Maine, the local area experienced something terrifying. During the evening, casualties who kept their entryways opened would get up toward the beginning of the day to get a concise look at a man gazing at them. Before they could respond, the man would run away from the area, going out similarly as it was before he entered it. Nothing was taken. No one was harmed or killed. All that he took was their protection when he slipped into their rooms to watch them rest. Hope this video is helpful for you. Press the bell icon so you can get notifications of my every video.